the broken vase.
In a quiet, sunlit living room, the centerpiece of a polished oak table stood proudly, a porcelain vase painted with delicate blue flowers. It had been a gift from Grandma Rena, and its presence carried a sense of elegance and history. One morning, the vase lay shattered on the floor. Sharp shards reflected the light, casting tiny rainbows across the room. A hush fell over the house as 4 pairs of eyes stared down at the scene of the crime. Paul, the youngest, shifted uncomfortably. He was clutching a half-eaten sandwich, crumbs dotting his shirt. Gemma, his teenage sister, folded her arms and raised an eyebrow. Their parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey, exchanged worried glances. Who broke the vase? Mrs. Jeffrey's voice was calm, but firm. No one spoke. Paul bit his lip. Maybe it fell on its own, he suggested weakly. That vase has been in the same spot for 10 years. Gemma replied. It didn't just jump off the table. Mr. Jeffrey knelt to gather the pieces. Accidents happen, but we need to be honest about them. The silence grew heavier. Gemma huffed, "It wasn't me." Paul looked away. "Not me either." Mrs. Jeffrey sighed. "Look, no one's in trouble. We just want the truth." Paul opened his mouth, then closed it again. His eyes darted to Gemma, who seemed lost in thought. "I know," Gemma said suddenly. "Let's blame the cat." "We don't have a cat," Paul whispered. "Oh," Gemma shrugged. "Well, the wind, then." "The window's closed," Mr. Jeffrey pointed out. Paul glanced nervously at his sister. "It was an accident," he mumbled. Everyone turned to him. "I was playing catch with myself," Paul admitted. "I threw the ball too hard, and I'm sorry." Gemma gave him a soft nudge. "Tough luck, buddy." Mrs. Jeffrey knelt beside Paul. "Thank you for telling the truth." Mr. Jeffrey smiled. "We can fix it. Or at least find a way to keep Grandma's memory alive in another way." Paul nodded, a mixture of relief and guilt on his face. They spent the afternoon gluing the pieces together, creating a new version of the vase. It wasn't perfect, but the cracks told a story, one of honesty, forgiveness, and family. And sometimes, broken things become more beautiful in their imperfection.